There's more fallout today in the wake of that reported $32 million payout by former Fox News anchor Bill O'Reilly to Fox News legal analyst Lise Wheel. O'Reilly addressing the issue yesterday on his podcast as follows.
You know, am I mad at God? Yeah, I'm mad at him. I wish I had more protection. I wish this stuff didn't happen. I can't explain it to you. Yeah, I'm mad at him. If I die tomorrow and I get an opportunity, I'll say, why'd you guys work me over like that? Didn't you know my children were going to be punished and they're innocent? But then I think about people have it much, much rougher than me. And, you know, I'm a big mouth. I'm a target. They're not targets.
He wishes he had more protection. O'Reilly accuser Juliette Huddy, a former Fox News anchor, was here yesterday in a Megyn Kelly TODAY exclusive, speaking about the downsides of settling the cases like this, which typically, and in her case, result in non-disclosure agreements, which basically shut the accusers up. She was open here about her fear in saying anything at all. Are you scared today?
I'm terrified. I'm actually terrified, and I don't know why I'm about to cry.
Terrified of retribution. Before the end of our show yesterday, before the 9 o'clock hour had concluded, Fox News fired Juliette's brother, John Huddy, a Fox News correspondent. By the end of the day, Fox News had its own statement announcing that, quote, following a thorough investigation into a physical altercation earlier this month, Fox News made the decision to sever ties with Jerusalem-based correspondent John Huddy. The network's investigation concluded last week, and due to observation of the Sabbath on Friday, terminated Huddy's employment this morning. Juliette may feel terrified, but she is not alone. We have received overwhelming responses from our viewers sharing similar experiences of sexual harassment with us. Here's just a couple of examples. Kim Clark told us, "This happened to me. It sticks with you forever. You watch where you work, how you dress, and what you say because so many don't understand." And Joanne Graham revealed, "When I was younger, I had to leave a couple of jobs because I was made to feel uncomfortable due to sexual harassment. This has been going on probably forever, and it is not just big companies. Small companies do it also. I'm hoping it stops altogether, but I doubt it ever will." Joining us now to discuss it are NBC News national correspondent Kate Snow and NBC News senior legal and investigative correspondent Cynthia McFadden. Thank you both so much for coming.
Good morning.
That last line, you know, I don't know if it'll ever stop. That's been the debate in the past couple of weeks with Weinstein and O'Reilly. Will it?
It's going to get harder to get away with it, I think. You know, as the conspiracy of silence between women starts to crumble, I think that maybe we are on the cusp of change. You know, I don't know, but Kate and I were in the green room, and everybody in the green room and the makeup room was like, me too.
Yeah.
Us too.
When you listen to Juliette.
Yeah, when we listen to all of the women who have come out, you know, things that happened to me weren't as severe as the things that have happened to the women who have actually settled lawsuits and women who had criminal acts committed on them. But it happened to me. It's happened to you. It's happened to you.
Yeah, and when I covered the Cosby situation, and I don't know if you remember, I talked with 27 accusers in one room. I remember Beverly Johnson, former supermodel, gorgeous woman, saying, "We are moving the needle." And that was why they, at that moment in time, a couple of years ago, wanted to speak out, because they felt that they were emboldening others, because many of them, they're grandmothers now. You know, this happened so many years ago that they felt they could never talk. I think we have seen, on a positive note, a cultural change in this country where it's now okay to voice things that weren't okay even 20 years ago.
So I feel like if we've got a scale from 0 to 100, and 100 is this doesn't happen any longer, or when it does, there's zero tolerance. I feel like maybe we're at 17% on the scale. I mean, I just feel like we have so far to go, because even though you've had Cosby accusers, and what happened at Fox was summer of 16, and Weinstein, that all the women who were, you know, the Weinstein accusers, they watched the thing happen at Fox News last summer. A whole year and a half plus, you know, went by. Women are afraid. They're afraid, like Juliette was afraid. They're afraid that even knowing that we're at the beginning of a sea change, we're still at the beginning.
I think we might be more, I would say maybe more toward the middle.
Me too.
Only because I do think that there's power in numbers. And the Me Too, the hashtag Me Too phenomenon shows, and one of the women over the weekend who accused a director, James Toback, of sexual harassment, which he denies, she said on Nightly News, we didn't even know each other. We found each other. She was talking about her and a couple other accusers found each other through the hashtag of his name and finding each other on social media. So I do think there's a fundamental shift in that way, that women are able to
But
find
don't you think
each
it's
other.
bizarre, Kate, that Cynthia, that we're in the news business, and even I didn't know you had a story. We are in the business of reporting, you know. And you and I had a discussion years ago. Do you remember this?
Yes.
We did this roundtable for women reporters more than a decade ago, and it was almost like talking about scoring drugs. I don't do drugs, but this is how I imagine it would, like, hey, you party? You know, like you sort of test the waters to see if somebody's got a story, and there's an intimation, but you're too scared to say what it is. What happened to you?
Well, I mean, when I was 15, as a doctor, my doctor.
It's hard to talk about.
Yeah. And then when I rejected his overtures, he started to stalk me and showed up at my after-school job, and it was scary. It was
15?
scary. Yeah, and I mean, certainly things have happened. I'll give you one. I don't know if this is harassment as much as just plain old-fashioned discrimination, workplace discrimination. Took a job, said to the guy who was offering me the job, I know you're offering me exactly half the pay of the man who had the job before me. And he said, that's right, you don't have a wife and kids to support. Take it or don't.
Yeah.
So I took it. You know,
Some of it is just gender inequity, right? I mean,
it's not all harassment.
luckily, NBC's a great place to work. Women support each other here. Men support women here. I've had no issues at NBC. I used to work at a different network where my very first live shot ever, I'm standing at the White House, and the male anchor with an open mic, I have an earpiece in, and he says, look at her. Oh my God, she's pale. Can somebody slap her cheeks and give her some color?
Did you volunteer to slap his after that segment?
But I
quid pro
remember
quo.
it because it was so stunning, and I was much younger than I am now, and I didn't know how to respond. I mean, and it's mixed, too, because that person ended up being a mentor to me in some other ways.
That's what happened
right?
in my case.
It's
I wrote
complicated.
about this in my book. I was harassed by Roger Ailes, and eventually he left me alone. I avoided him, and then we got back on solid footing, and he became a boss and a mentor to me for years thereafter. I don't think I'm the only one who can relate to that, but I do think we as women are forced to navigate our way through those situations way more often than we should be.
Anita Hill. I mean, the reason many people didn't believe her was because the person who she said harassed her, Clarence Thomas, later became a mentor, and they exchanged. She went and followed him to a new job.
Both things can be true.
Both things can be true.
Thank you for sharing that. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hello, Today fans. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking that button down there and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives.